Hello and welcome to Friday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and a puzzle has been recommended to the nines to us. It's called Rainbow Trout, and it is by the brilliant and inventive Michael Lefkowitz. And yeah, it introduces a new rule as well as a very colourful grid. The basic idea is that, let's find one of these things. You put a digit into this cell, which is described as a fish. I'm not sure why. Is this from some sort of game? Anyway, let's say you put a 3 in there. Then that would mean on the hook, or the line and the hook that contains that letter, which is this one, the digits have to differ by 3. Adjacent digits have to differ by 3. So these two could be 1, 4, 7, or something like that. And that's it. It's just 2 stars out of 5 for difficulty. And let me show you some of the incredible comments that I've just snipped here. Viking Prime, one of the most incredibly clever puzzles I have ever seen. And loads of people also, if you're interested in some of our puzzles which are slightly easier than some of the harder ones we tackle from time to time, loads of people saying this is very approachable. And yeah, look at this, approachable 2-star, more a 1-star if looking at the right place. So it should be quite doable, this Rainbow Trout puzzle, and I will read you the rules properly in a moment or two's time. I don't have a lot of news for you today. I mean, the big news in and around the channel at the moment is this quite incredible reward we have running over on Patreon. And this is Blobz, Lord of the Rings Sudoku hunt. We've been talking about it for well, about a week, and it is so it's just such high quality stuff. I cannot tell you. You know, I think there's about 10 or 11 puzzles, each themed around a specific event from Lord of the Rings, and incredibly, Blobz has secured the permission of Ted Nasmith, one of the world's premier Tolkien illustrators, to use his artwork in this pack. And you can see, well, there's a little example of it here. This is it's just amazing. So please, I mean, even if you don't like Lord of the Rings, the puzzles are brilliant. And if you do like Lord of the Rings, then this will be one of the great presents you have ever received in a puzzling sense. So that's over on Patreon right now. You've got until the 20th to enter the competition. Check it out. And that is all the news. So why don't we get solving? These are the rules of Rainbow Trout from Michael Lefkowitz as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. Then it says fishing lines. Adjacent digits on a grey line, including the hook. In fact, it says including the hook, I see now, including the hook, differ by exactly n, where n is the digit on the corresponding fish. So we've got lovely colours, and it's very kind actually of Michael, because I think this is also colourblind friendly, because even if you couldn't detect that this was red, you can see that there's H is in these two, so you know that this one corresponds to this one, so we should be all right from a colourblind perspective. Yeah, so that they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now I am suspicious immediately about I was going to say I'm suspicious immediately about boxes 3 and 7, both of which are completely covered by fishing lines. We're going to have to find, let's just have a look at this, H, J, and, oh no, don't like that one. Okay, A, B and C. Where are A, B and C? There, there and there. Or maybe we're meant to start with long lines then. Ah, yeah, okay, so that one is in the same column as itself. Right, so does that do it then? One thing I've had a thought about is that these lines, these fishing lines, they must they must go in a linear direction, mustn't they? Because the gap is consistent. You couldn't go sort of 3, 6, and then you'd have to go to 9, wouldn't you? Because you can't go back down to 3 again. So these lines are going to operate a little bit like thermometers, but with consistent gaps, is what I think. So you will always be ascending towards one end of the line. Now, these are 5-cell lines, this one here and this one here. So I think these two squares must be a 1-2 pair, because how could they? We couldn't have a gap of 3 along a 5-cell line, because 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, we're in the realms of nonsenses from a Sudoku perspective. And I have a feeling that's going to mean that we can fill this line in. Yeah, we can, can't we? Because in fact, the only way you can do a 5-cell line with a gap of 2 is going to be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And we can't put 1 on this line because there's a 1-2 pair in the column. And that means that, well, that means that this is not a 2. So this is a 1. This is a 2. So this line is now 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Yeah, okay, all right. So what we're being told here is this line is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Where is the 1 on it? Well, it's not at that end, so it must be at the other end. So that line goes 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Yeah, okay, and where's 2 in this column now? 2 is there by Sudoku of all things. I mean, Michael, it's outrageous. You making me do Sudoku in your Sudoku puzzle. Right. Okay, and these have to move with a consistent difference, don't they? So we can't go 2, 6, because the next digit ought to be 10 then. So this has got to go 2, 4, 6, 8. And whatever this line is, I can't see, this line is D. So D has a difference of 2 in that square. So now there's a 2 over here. Yes, okay, this is very approachable, but it's lovely actually. Now, what about that line then? Because that line's got a difference of 1 on it. So it is and it hasn't got a 2 on it. So it's from the digits 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's 5 consecutive digits within that sequence. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's got to have 5, 6 and 7 on it, this line. Because if we start from 9 and went backwards, we go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And if we start from 3, which is the lowest number we can start with, we still get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 5, 6, 7 are definitely on this line. So 5 is down there. 7 is up here. So it either goes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can we do that? Well, actually, I can do something. Where's 4 in this column? 4 is not here, so 4 is on this line. But hang on, why is 3 not on this line? Yes, that's right. 3 is not on the line, actually. That's another way we could have considered this. 3 is not on the line, because for 3 to be on the line, 3 would have to be down here by Sudoku, and then 5 couldn't be on the line, but we know 5 needs to. So the pencil mark 5 is correct, and that was the corollary of the pencil mark 5 was taking 3 off the line. I just didn't see it that way. Right, but 4 we've now worked out is on the line, and 4 can't go there because it won't be close to the 5. So the 4 must be here. So this goes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now these squares are 3 and 9. Okay. and those squares are 1, 5 and 7 by Sudoku. These squares are 3, 6 and 8 by Sudoku, and these squares are 2, 4 and 9 by Sudoku. And what's going on this one then? So this is F, which is here. So the difference here could be 5 actually, because it could be 4 to 9, couldn't it? Or 2 to 4, which is a difference of 2, or 2 to 9, which is a difference of 7. So this is 2, 5 or 7, which is completely useless, I think. So right, so it's going to either be this box now, I think. H, J, I. 2 of those. That one's more under pressure. That's got to be at least 3. What's the biggest difference you could have on a line like this? You can't have 4. Oh no, you can have 4. You could have one. Sorry, you could have 1, 5, 9. So you can have 4. Right, so that's 3 or 4. It can't be 5. I'm very confident about that, because 1 to 6 to 11 is definitely not going to work. So that's 3 or 4. That one is much less restricted, and that one we just know isn't 1. What about this box? Let's check this one. We've got that one. None of those can be a 2. Because that's interesting. That 2 sees all 3 of those. So they have to be, 1, 3 or 4 on the basis that none of these can be 5 either, which must be correct. I'm actually wondering whether this is some sort of mathematics, because we do know the sum of this box, don't we? And we know the sum of the box because of a secret that I share with only my very favourite people. And if you watch this video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. The secret, of course, being that a whole box of a Sudoku contains digits, well, it contains the digits 1 to 9 once each, and those digits sum to 45. So no, it's not that. It's not that, is it? It's something. Oh, this is weird. Right. Right. Okay. So here is a question. Which one of these could be a 3? That is an interesting question. That's beautiful, and it's beautiful and strange. I'm just trying to think about. I feel like there's something mathematical that should just be. I mean, what I'm seeing there, which is not mathematical, it's sort of pattern orientated, is that none of these can be a 3, because then I couldn't fill the box, if you see what I mean. Because clearly it isn't possible for both of those to be a 3. So let's think about what 3 means in terms of pattern. It means that you're either going to have a 147 triple on one of these sequences, a 258 triple, or a 369 triple. Now the weird thing about all 3 of those triples is that they break the other possibilities for the lines. But by which I mean, let's make one of these. 369 was always impossible. Let's make one of them 147, just for the sake of exposition. Let's say this one was 147. Right, now, can we know one of the lines has to be either have a difference of 1 or a difference of 4. Now the difference of 4 line we worked out earlier was definitely 159. Now the weird thing about 159 is it has sort of one of every modularity. So 147 is ruled out by the 1 of the 159. 258, which would be another way of having a gap of 3, is ruled out because of the 5 on a 159 line, and 369 is ruled out by the 9 on the 159 line. So you can't actually have a difference of 3 with a difference of 1. Sorry, with a difference of 4 on one of these lines. And you also can't have a difference of 3 with a difference of 1 on one of these lines, because the gap between 1 and 4 is only 2 digits long. There's a 2 and a 3. So you can't have a 2, 3, 4 sequence or a 1, 2, 3 sequence. It just doesn't exist. And at the top end, 8, 9, 10 isn't possible. There isn't enough of a gap. And that's the same, obviously, if we change these to 2, 5, 8. There's still no gap that's 3 cells long. So in fact, okay. That's really, really brilliant. So what we're in fact learning is that none of these can be a 3. So so this is a 1-4 pair. Right, and that means this can't be a 4 as well. Because the 4 only has one constitution. 4 is 159, which means there is a 5 in one of these. Yes, okay. This has to be a 1. I can see how this works now. This has to be a 1. And now, if you think about it, we've got 159 on one of these lines, which actually is not this one, I'm now noticing. So that's definitely not a 5, because there's a 1 in the column already. So one of these is 159, and the other two are going to have a difference of 1. So they're going to be a 2, 3, 4 triple. Okay, and they're going to be a 6, 7, 8 triple. Well, this line now can't be a 159 or a 2, 3, 4 triple. So this is a 6, 7, 8 triple, and the middle digit of that is 7. In fact, the middle digit of that is 7, but it has an 8 on it. So that's 8, that's 6. There we go. Now, one of these lines is a 2, 3, 4 triple, and we know the order. The 2 is going to be at the top. So one of these is 2, one of these is 3, one of these is 4. And the 3 here is looking at the 3-9 pair. This is gorgeous, isn't it? And I don't know if we can do better than that, but that's jolly exciting. Can we do anything else as a result of this trickery? Don't know. I'm not sure. We can say one of those is a 6. We can probably do a bit of Sudoku. Look, that square there. Oh, this square here is a 1, because one of these is a 5. So that's a little deduction. And we know that this is a 3-5 pair, so we may as well notate it. And therefore the remaining digits in this row are 2, 4 and 8. So that's not 2 now. So this one is 5 or 7 as the gap. So it is not a 2-4 pair, which means this digit definitely is 2 or 4. Now, there's a 5-7 pair in row 7 now, which I hadn't noticed. And one of these is 159, but how do we work out which one? Oh, sorry, it's windy today. My door is now slamming. Or we could look at this column, I suppose. 3, 5 and 9 into the gaps. Let's put those in. Can we do better than that? That's not 5. That's not 9. Oh, now the poltergeist is making the door creak. There's a 1 here, so this square's a 4, this square's a 1. Oh, that just does the line. That's going to help us, because that means I can't see what that is. I still can't see what it is. That's the B digit. So the B digit is that one. So this is 159 inside. Well, so it's got 5 in the middle of it. So this is 2, this is 4. These two squares are 1 and 9. And the result of that is going to be, I have no, 4 here means this is 3. So this is the red line, isn't it? So this is 3. Ah, okay, so that means, but, oh, I see. So, oh, goodness me, Michael, that's gorgeous. Right. So we're going to have a whole load of 3s. These are both 3s. Because, actually, I'm not certain that's right. Could I put maybe 2s? No, not, yeah, okay, understand, right. So we worked out, well, we've deduced this is a 3, so this line has a difference of 3 along it. Now we've already worked out, therefore, that because this line has a difference of 3, it is not possible for either of these now to either be 1 or 4, because that's exactly what we were mulling over down here, wasn't it? You couldn't partner up a 3 with a 1 or a 4. Now, therefore, my initial reaction was, well, both of those must be 3s then, because then we could have 1 from each modular set. And I think that's right. The only question I had in my brain, which I think could have been possible, I'm not certain it's possible, but could have been possible, and I haven't thought through, was whether you could have had a difference of 2 somehow, and that could work in this box. But I don't think that's possible because of this one, look. So this one sees 1, 2, and 4, so it can only be 3. And that means I've got 2 lines in this box that have differences of 3, which means they're going to be something like 147 and 369. So the other set is going to be the other modular set of 258 in that instance. So they're all forced to be 3 by dint of this one not having the ability to be anything else but 3. So these are all 3. This one, oh look, and we actually know. We know because 1 and 3 are off this line. So this line is 258. And we know the order because there's an 8 there. This is going to fill in. 258 goes there. That's not 2. This 3 can be placed in the column. 3, 9, 5. Right. Now, look. This line has to be 369 because it has to be. And we've got 9 here, so we can do that. 9, 6, 3. This line is now 147, and we can do that. But 147, snooker maximum. This is a 4. That's a 2. That's a 9 now by straightforwardness. This is a 6. Right, what are those two squares? I'm having a little bit of difficulty seeing the seeing through the fish, if you see what I mean. These are a 4, 7 pair, I think. And we can do the order of that. So these are now 1, 5. Oh, this is 159 triple. So that's 9. That's 1. That's 5. So these should be 6, 7, 8. Might be able to do a bit better than that. Let's try and. No, I couldn't tidy them up. That's not 3. That's not 3. Right. So this is 3 in the row. That's 4, 9, so the grey fish is now 5. That does my 5 and my 7 over here. Still don't know the order of the 1 and the 9 in box 7, which is a bit strange. But hopefully all will be revealed shortly. What could we do? We can get rid of 4 from here. That is a 4. In fact, this one can't be 2 or 8, so we're left with a 2, 8 pair. So we should probably look at column 7, where we need 6, 7, and 9. Oh, well that's not 2. Let's put the options in. 6, 7 and 9. That's not 9. That's not 7. Maybe row 4? 4, 6, 8. Yes, okay, where is 4 in this row? It's got to be here. So this square is 6 or 8. 2, 6, 8, 9. Okay, so the bottom digit here is a 9 by Sudoku. Therefore, this is a 6 by Sudoku. This is right. This is going to do it. 7, 9, or famous last words. That's now not 7. So there's a 6, 8 pair in this row. So these are 2 and 5, which we can do the order of 5, 2, 2, 8, 6, 8, 6, 8, 8, 6, 7. I hope I'm not going to get left with a deadly pattern, am I? That's fine. That's fine. What a beautiful puzzle that is. That is sensationally good. Wow. Wow, that's seriously interesting. So basically, yeah, I mean the PS to resistance in this puzzle is that digit, seeing those 3 fish, and instantly begging this question about how you fill the digits in this line if you can't use a 2 gap, when it wasn't possible for all 3 of those to be 3s. And then it gets you thinking about, well, what can 3 go with? And you realise it can't go with gaps of 1 or 4. And that's just a weird thing. But it's absolutely beautiful, because it completely blew this open. And then it gets you thinking the right way about this box, because all of a sudden you realise, well, once I realised this was a 3, I was immediately, well, hang on. I'm not allowed to put 3 gaps of 3 in a box with 1s and 4s. So does that mean everything else has to be 3? And indeed, it did. I mean, we didn't bottom out whether if 2 hadn't been looking at this. You know, I can see some things might have been possible. Oh, I'm not sure actually. No, maybe not. No, maybe gaps of 2 are very difficult as well. I'm trying to construct one that would work with any of these sets, and I'm failing. So no, gaps of 2 I think are also broken. Yeah, so you could go 7, 5, but then you'd hit the 3. Yeah, okay, so I didn't think that through, but now I have. I can actually see that once that's 3, this whole thing has to be 3. The cogs have slotted into place for that too. Michael, that's sensationally clever. People are going to love that. Absolutely brilliant. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.